My name is Lawrence Ray, also known as LRW3, and today, all the way from, let's say, Eastman to Chauncey. Which one we repping? Chauncey. All the way from Chauncey, Georgia. I got my man right here. Y'all seen him before. But for the people who missed the video you on, go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
My name is SpvceLiiiko, a.k.a. Dead Man Dirty Dan. You feel me? From Chauncey, 31011. Representative. You feel me? So
shout out Chauncey, Georgia in the building today, man. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and say something to you before we get started, man. Cause my first time I met you, of course, was at the Cypher, dog.
Yeah.
And you was a standout. You know, I get a lot of people complimenting on what you did on the Cypher, but everybody always has a quick comment about that first line, bro. What was up with that first line, man? That Nima told line. If you watch the Cypher, you got to see everybody's face when it came out. I was like,
I like that though. I like that I got a reaction out of everybody.
You got every
first line.
One thing I gotta give you love on. You immediately had everybody's attention. Now I ain't gonna cap and say I don't know if it was good or bad, but we was listening, and then you didn't miss the rest of the time, man. You was consistently one of the people I hear. Hey man, we want to hear him again, man. He was fire, but you were real bold on that first line. I was like, man, I gotta tell him that when I see him, because I couldn't even front on camera. Everybody's face was like, what? Hold on.
Yeah, I like that though. Like, I mean, it wasn't necessarily a shock value bar, but it was just a SpongeBob punchline. Like, if anybody ever like,
and that's why I was asked, because you know some people would do that on purpose, trying to I'm gonna grab their attention real quick.
Nah, it wasn't even though. Like, I had a verse full of punchlines. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, you was in your bag. Hey, you was wilding though. I like what you did from there, man. So it's SpvceLiiiko. How you say it?
SpvceLiiiko.
Because the way I ain't gonna front, man. The way you spell it, I always thought it was Spice.
Nah, it's SpvceLiiiko.
So Space. I'm gonna call you Space, man.
Yeah. Most people just call it like shortening the space, which is probably what what it's gonna boil down to. But
so how we came up with this name?
I didn't come up with that name.
Who came up with it?
My cousin, Brill.
Do you know how he thought of it?
No
one day just started calling you that.
Yeah.
Is that the first rap name we ever had, or were you calling yourself son before then?
I really never had no official rap name. Nah.
Oh, so
I mean, I was kind of going with Malik the Great for a minute, but that wasn't like, you know what I'm saying. Nobody really liked that name. So.
Why ain't like it, man?
Shit, I don't know, bro. I guess it was just boring.
Oh damn, man! You thought it was fire when you said that hurt your feelings. You think something fire, they don't be rocking with it.
I mean, I honestly, truthfully. I knew it would come to a time where, like, if somebody else gave me a rap name, like, I was like, shit, if it stick, it stick. Like, because I never really gave myself no real rap name.
Oh, that's fine, man. It worked out. Man. So, we were born in Eastman and raised in Chauncey, correct?
Yeah.
So, were you in Eastman for any time period or no?
I lived in Eastman until I was 3, and then I moved in with my grandparents in Chauncey.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm not from Chauncey. I've never had the pleasure of going to Chauncey, man. Maybe one day, man, we'll bring a Cypher down there, man. See what y'all do, man. If they rap like you, man, we might come down there. But talk to me how it is about growing up in Chauncey.
I mean, it's a super small community, like real tight, close knit. The part I was raised in is called Summerhill. I was raised pretty much around a lot of my family. Pretty much everybody I knew was family in one way, shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? So it was like everybody was real close. I could look across the street and look and see like, okay, they're my people. And kick it every day, play basketball every day. And eventually that's pretty much how I started rapping. So like that's pretty much how Chauncey is. Like, I can't speak for the rest of it because it's like, it's small, but it's big because it's country, a lot of dirt roads, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, all you can speak to is what you know. That's a fact, though.
Yeah.
So you were raised by your grandparents, correct?
Yeah.
So how was it coming up underneath your grandparents? Were they like the old-fashioned grandparents where you know you can't get away with nothing, or were they more lenient to you because you the baby, basically?
Nah, they was like old-fashioned and like lenient at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was kind of spoiled, so like they gave me the stuff that I wanted, but they also like kept me in the house a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? I was a little sheltered, but it is what it is.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. As far as your cousins, what impact, how do you think, I know you mentioned you was around family, how did being around so much family impact you to be who you were? Because I'm pretty sure you couldn't really get away with much, because no matter where you went, it was family somewhere telling you, hey, don't do that.
Well, I mean, I really just had the mindset of I listened to my grandparents anyway. Like I kind of got a little sneakier as I got older.
That's
but
natural.
Like I tried to, you know what I'm saying, be a good kid for like most of my adolescent and early teenage years. I tried to be good, you know what I'm saying? Like that was like I made it a point to. I ain't sag, I ain't curse, none of that.
Oh, that's real. That's real. Were you into sports then, or?
No, I ain't play no sports. I mean, I played rec football when I was a jit, but that one.
So you was, especially because in the smaller towns, you know, that's basically that's all you do, basically.
Oh yeah, all my cousins was football animals. And was the stars in Dodge County. I promise you.
So how you knew? What made you know early on it just wasn't for you?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm kind of lazy.
Hey, that's a real answer, bro. You ain't gonna go to practice. You ain't gonna do none of that. Nah, I feel.
And then, like, you know, coaches gonna be hard on you because they want to get the best out you, but I ain't like that shit.
You like get yelled at, man.
I ain't fuck with that.
Was you at least good? Were you one of the people who were good but just didn't care?
I was cool when I was at rec, like on defense. I was cool. I remember making a few little plays here and there.
Oh, okay, but you just like, nah.
Yeah, it wasn't. I realized it wasn't for me, bro.
Hey, that's real. So. Speaking on your cousins, they were the ones who kind of got you to be more serious when it came to the music. Is that correct?
Yeah, they didn't even necessarily put the battery. Well, they did put the battery in my back later on, but like when I was young, I really kind of just did the shit for attention. Like I had already been rapping like on my own, but I noticed that they had been rapping and shit on a little phone or whatever. So I'm like, you niggas rapping and shit.
On a phone, like was it an old? Put it. What
it was
year
a chocolate. You remember the chocolate, bro?
Nah, was it the Razor era or was it after the Razor era?
I want to say this might have been was this before?
I feel like I know the
Razor?
chocolate, but I can't picture it.
Cause the chocolate came in all different colors, and it was an MP3 player and a phone. That was like the selling point. Like
so that was just recording on there.
Yeah, we was like was find YouTube beats.
Was it type of phone where like you could actually put the beat? Cause it was phones, you know, back in the day where you would just like play the beat and then record yourself at the same time the beat was playing out like a speaker, or you legit had the beat on the phone? Nah,
we playing the beat off of computer speaker, off YouTube. Yeah, we ain't putting the beat on the phone. We just recording it with the phone. Terrible quality, but
hey, doing something. So you see your cousins doing that, and you like, yo, you want in on it?
Yeah, I wanted in.
So did they let you join at first or no?
It was kind of like me kind of pestering my cousin, the same cousin that gave me the name. Like, I was kind of like, yo, bro, I want, you know what I'm saying? Y'all boys rapping. They had a group called Lil Mafia.
They ain't let you in there, did they?
They didn't want to let me in at first. So I'm like, bro, let me cut a freestyle, bro. So finally one day my cousin let me cut him a freestyle, and it was up from there. They was like, ah, yeah.
So you joined. Did they start letting you record on the phone too, or?
Yeah.
Do you would you consider that the first time you made like a real song on the phone, or nah? You just kicking it?
I wouldn't, cause I wasn't doing hooks or choruses or bridges. I'm just rapping like straight freestyling.
So right? At this time period, cause you was what, like 11 at this time? It was still no songs being done.
Nah.
So at what age did we start? Well, what age did we make our first official song?
Ooh, I made my first song probably when I was like. I was still recording on the phone then, but like the first time I put together a song, like a hook and like everything, like was in college. Me and this dude I knew in college, we was rapping on the phone.
So that's the first time you like. So that's the first like official song you did.
Yeah, we put them on SoundCloud and everything.
So let me ask you this: we started rapping around like 8 or 9. We hopped on. Something didn't necessarily make a song, but we were making songs. It's just, you know, not to a certain level. I guess you would qualify it at 11. But we didn't actually make a real song until college. So you at least 18, 19 at that point.
Yeah, 17, 18, somewhere in that range.
What was the gap? Why did we never attempt a song in between there?
I don't know. I just wasn't thinking about rap like through middle school and all that. Not like that. Like I'll probably freestyle here and there, but I wasn't really like, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So we ended up going to college. We dropped the songs on SoundCloud, and you were doing pretty good on SoundCloud. You was like, what, got a few 100,000 views? I mean,
yeah, not from them in college though. Like I don't think nobody heard that. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think nobody heard that. And like it was on dude's SoundCloud who I was making the songs with, and I genuinely don't even remember bro name for real. I think it was K-Ferg. I think that was his rap name for sure.
Hey, shout out K-Ferg though.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you got your own SoundCloud, what was the first? Do you remember the first few songs you dropped on there?
Yeah.
What was the name of those songs, and are they still available?
I think so. I think I might have removed some of them, but I still have a couple of them up there. I got a song called Erkin. I did. It's on there. What's the other genre?
And what made you take them down? Because like I said, you got a few 100,000, so obviously they were doing well. What made you want to take them down then?
Well, them early ones weren't really doing well. And
okay.
Like later on down the line, like I had a couple get in the high thousands, and that was when I really started seeing traction. But the early ones, I like put songs up, take them down, put songs up, take them down. Like I don't know. It was just I don't know why I was doing that. Truthfully.
Oh, it makes sense. Hey, sometimes you be in the mood for it, then you move on and be like, nah, that's not it.
Yeah, that's not. I'll be like, that ain't it. I'll take that one down.
So, then as you started moving on SoundCloud, you stopped doing it for a while. Is that correct?
Yeah, stopped making music for a little while. I don't know. I guess I just kind of got to the point where like the failure of it doesn't feel worth it.
What do you mean by failure of it?
Like when you put yourself out there to people to be like, hey, look, I make music, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to do some work together, or like, you know what I'm saying? Let me get a look on your channel. I'll pay you for it, whoop the bam, and you ain't getting responses from people. You got people telling you they not working with people right now, knowing they is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Also, I'm like, man, I don't. And then I had a bunch of other situations too, where like me and my cousins, we had a group. And then, like, it was a nigga just kind of got thrown into the group. And I remember being in my head, like, I wonder how this shit gonna turn out. And that shit did not turn out good. Like, that shit just was just a...
Was it based on music? It didn't reason turn out good, or it was other reasons?
I think it was potential for the music to have an actual, like, good breather in the air. But, like, it was dude character. Yeah, it was dude character.
All right, yeah, we ain't gonna get into that. You know, two sides to every story. He ain't here to defend himself. But basically, it ain't work out well as far as with that group.
Yeah.
So, and then you said you were reaching out to people. How long were you making music though? Like, cause you were moving, but you know, I tell every artist who comes in, man, half the industry is relationships. So. Yeah. How long were we trying it before we stopped? Maybe, you know, you talented as hell. Maybe you just weren't in there long enough to build the relationships you need.
Yeah, I was probably doing it for like a year and a half.
Yeah, nah, you probably like you still like on the industry side, you was an infant, bro. Like,
oh yeah. I mean, I had bumped shoulders with a few people, but it wasn't nothing major. You feel me?
So then, basically after a year and a half, we just said this ain't for me. Because
I would still make songs, but I wouldn't promote them.
And when you think about it, bro, you probably didn't even need those connections you were trying to make if you got a few 100,000 by yourself within a year and a half. Now, you know, hindsight 2020, and when you put things in perspective, you know, maybe you would have seen it differently then, but you know, I don't know the goals that you had or the timeline. Did you have a timeline? Is that why you was like, this ain't going like it's supposed to? Because I should have been here by now, or you just felt like in your mind it wasn't?
I didn't have a timeline, but what it was that I looked at so many situations where I looked at like, okay, I've been in this situation. I wasted my time, made poor choices, made mistakes here. That folded. Been in another situation. Situation wasn't right. Made poor choices, mistakes, folded. Happens again and again, and eventually you just get to where it's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Do I really want to put my time and energy, and then like it's gonna take bread too? So like
that's a fact. Yeah, the industry run on money. Cause my only thing is like, even for me, I've had major label contracts. I've sat in rooms. I met a lot of people, but that was after like 7-8 years. And my thing is like. Yeah. Any real artist you hear who had opportunities, that's most of the stories will tell you it comes from a life of putting a lot of sweat and tears into it. And yours is not a talent issue because you talented as hell. So looking back on it, was it just impatient? Was what I would have to say.
For sure.
So now I know you acknowledged already yourself that you know you were kind of inconsistent with music, which I'm gonna be fair. We started at 9. We doing songs on the phone at 11, and then we didn't make a true song until, you know, 17, 18,
Yeah.
we come out fire because your talent's gonna make your talent level's too high for you not to be, just being real.
Yeah.
But then we stop again. So as somebody who like your style, like I'm sure a lot of people would, and probably even more people would if you were consistently doing it, do you feel like that has hurt you?
Yeah, for sure it has. Not being willing to keep just trying my hand at attempting different things and trying to reach out to different people, and you know what I'm saying. That's just been a part of it for a while.
Now let me ask you this, like I said, because I'm rocking with you. I like your talent. For people who want to rock with you now, but they're concerned, well, I don't want to go 100% in with him because he might not even be here tomorrow based off the track record. That's just being real. What can you tell these people to make them know you here to stay this time?
I mean, I'm making a push this time for real. This is like me doing your cipher, and before that I did a music video, and like that's the most things I've ever done, and especially in such a short stretch of time. Like I feel like this is the most I've ever had my foot on the gas, thanks to this man right here off camera. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like now I'm really all in because I can see myself doing it, and like when I have something to look at and see and really appreciate, being like the video that I did, seeing the cipher, seeing the reaction I got, like okay, yeah, like I should probably, you know what I'm saying, I should definitely keep going.
You should.
But you know what I'm saying, I think it's a mental thing.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm not judging the breaks because me myself, I took a 10-year gap from music myself, so I understand, you know, if things ain't going your way, or sometimes, man, life take precedent, and music just don't be that important. So if that's what's going on, that's one thing. But as somebody like who's liking what you're doing, we just need to know he just ain't gonna wake up one day and just not want to do it. Now that's one thing. Like, ain't no excuse for that. Hey, I just ain't feeling it. But if life's happening, and I'm not saying life wasn't happening for you, because hey, we all go through things. But you know, we want to see you progress. We want to see you reach the next level that your talent will put you at if you stay with it. That's not a question. So I guess I gotta ask this because you are one of the few people I sit down with where they are so talented that it might sometimes it's actually a blessing and a curse. You're talented as hell, so like that's never a bad thing. But sometimes it comes too easy for you that you kind of get bored. Like, and that's not. I'm not gonna say it's not your fault because you still got to stay focused even with the blessings. But is that something you dealt with? Like, yo, this too easy. I don't want to do this. And
not even that it's too easy that I don't want to do it. It almost like I used to kind of almost have a mentality like, why isn't this happening for me faster? Because I'm so talented, because I get told constantly how good at rapping I am, and because I know, you know what I'm saying, like I know I'm good at this, bro.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying. So it's like that eats at me when I'm like I'm very talented. I should be able to get paid off of this. You feel me? But I know I got to put in the groundwork too, and when I put myself in a position to try to put in the groundwork and it doesn't necessarily work out, it always feels really crazy. You feel me? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? But I think I moved past that to where now I can see myself doing these things and feel the relief from myself of like, yeah, like this is the stuff that I've been wanting to get out. You feel me? Like, because I know I can do this, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact. And that's a thing, too, you mentioned about now getting acknowledgement. Because I don't care who you are, bro. Nobody likes to keep doing something if nobody's acknowledging it. Like, yeah, you might be doing it for the love, but after a while, now I do think, I'm going to keep it real, it should have been longer than a year and a half. But after a while, bro, if you doing something and you're not getting, you know, the recognition you believe you deserve, it does wane on you to like, why? But that's like I tell every artist, that's why you got to make music that you like. So like bare minimum, even if nobody else likes it, you still want to play it in the whip. But if you're only doing it, and that's like I tell everybody, even who's try to start podcasts, try to make music, if you're only doing it for your end goal, you'll never really truly enjoy it, one, because you're just focused on that, and you'll never even enjoy the small little victories you get. Because if you're doing it for the love, who cares whether I go get, like, even me, who cares? Yeah, I got 1 million views, but I didn't start it for 1 million views. I went just hanging out with the homies, and then when it's for the love, one, it comes across better because it feels genuine. It doesn't feel like, oh, if I just started this to go get 1 million and all I wanted to do was get 1 million, my first cipher, 60,000, it would have been cool, but that ain't a million. So if that's all I wanted, then the same thing with you. It ain't moving as fast as I want. But you just went and got 100,000 views. You got hundreds of thousands of views already. Yeah. But that's not what you wanted to be, that you couldn't really enjoy the process. Because no matter how talented you are, when it comes to the industry, bro, I hate to say it, but like talent is probably the least thing you need in the industry, because the machine can make anybody talented. You got to put the footwork in, more so building those relationships, meeting the people who can then introduce you to that person, who introduces you to that person, to get you to that person that you really need to meet. But that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a year and a half. And hell, and that's why too, as people like me, I'm asking, like, I know I'm on camera asking for other people. I'm asking for somebody who likes your talent now and likes what you're doing. But don't stop again. Like, because the thing too, with this microwave era, every time you stop, guess what happened?
Somebody else
done took that spot. So now you can't even just get to stop for a year and a half and then just jump back where you were. You back at the back of the line, and now you got to take another year and a half to come back exactly where you were. And if you ain't want to wait a year and a half last time, you gonna wait. You want to wait again? Not a chance. You're gonna keep quitting at the point that you shouldn't even be at. So that's my main concern with you, man, because your talent is gonna get you there. We just need to make sure that you are gonna push yourself, not him, not them, because he could want the world for you. They could want the world for you. But if you don't want it, bro, it's only gonna go but so far. Because I mean, I ain't never heard him rap off camera, but I'm gonna assume he ain't got bars like you. I could be wrong, but we want to hear you. We want to hear you keep progressing, man. So that I guess we're gonna put you on the spot. What is your goal with this music? Because that's the important thing. Like, that's why you stopped before, and you say you locked in now. What are we looking for? What is success to us in this industry?
Success for a lot of people is money. Success for me is, you know what I'm saying, bread for sure.
Getting paid. I appreciate people who don't come in here and lie, man. I'm just doing this. Everybody doing this. Like, don't get me wrong, you might do it because you like it, but everybody want to make money on it.
For sure. I love rapping so much. I love hip-hop music so much that I got really fucking good at it, and I would like to get paid from it. That's basically, like, you know what I'm saying? My end goal is to when it's all said and done, at least have put out a couple albums. And if I don't ever get rich off music, that's fine. But, like, I would definitely for sure like to have at least put out some projects to the world, like some real deal, like concrete albums to the world, and be able to say that that's something that I did for myself.
Have we put out any projects yet?
I got EPs on SoundCloud, but I don't have no official album, nah.
Man. Do we have a project planned?
Yeah, for sure. I got the track list and everything. I just got to, you know what I'm saying, get everything.
Okay. So this is gonna be our first official project. It sounds like what it's gonna be coming.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have a date on it yet, or is it still in the works?
We had a date, but now it's gonna get pushed back a little bit. Cause gotta get the finances in order to get the business right, you feel me?
Hey, that's
make sure everything paid for.
Hey, we don't wait. How old are you?
I'm 26.
So you started right, but we don't wait 16 years for the debut album. I think we can wait a few more months, man, to make sure everything right at this point. How many tracks is on this one though?
I think I settled down at 12.
That's a good number. Do we have any like notable features on it or anything like that?
Yeah, me.
Me. And what type of because I know you were, obviously anybody who's seen you at least on this channel knows that you a lyricist. We all know you can rap, but that's not all you do. You got a couple of different styles.
Nah, I got a few styles, man. I started off as a lyricist, but like eventually I found like myself liking different types of music more. So like I molded into different types of styles. I can genuinely make any type of music, to be honest with you. I stay in my lane, I stay true to myself, but I can rap on any type of beat, you know what I'm saying, give you different inflections, I can do harmonies. I can't sing for real, but
I'm gonna have to ask you that. I'm glad you ain't lying. My dad question, I can say, hey, go ahead, let's hear something.
No. You gotta throw the tune on my voice. You gotta throw all the tune on my voice.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I know how to work that motherfucker though. I know how to like make it work for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I know how to use my voice in that sense at the very least, you feel me? Like I can break down pretty much any style in rap that you can think of, truthfully.
That's fine. And I know you had a lot of influences, man. Just tell people, who are some of your bigger influences that kind of got your style the way it is?
For sure, Lil Wayne. For sure, Kendrick Lamar. For sure, fucking 3 6 Mafia, Bone Thugs, 1000%. Them the main ones, I say. Them the main ones. And then like I got a lot of other artists that like I dibble and dabble with, like in terms of like things that I get from them. Outkast, for sure, Outkast is one of them. But yeah. Anybody from the 90s that was like rapping over boom bap shit too, like Pun, L, all them guys. Yeah, for sure.
Now that's fire. And usually this is the point where I start asking artists about their projects or their singles, but
I mean, I do have out 3 singles that you could listen to on streaming platforms. You know, that's something. You feel me?
What's the names of them?
I got a song called Save a Lot. I got a song called Balance of Life, and I got a song called what's the third song that I put out?
Are these older songs or they recently released?
They recently released, but they was songs that I made like a long time ago.
All right.
Yeah. Balance of Life, Save a Lot. What was the other one, bro? Apparently got like 74,000 on SoundCloud or something, somewhere around there.
That's fire.
Yeah,
That's
somewhere
fire.
around there.
I'm just still confused how you say you're not getting enough attention and you just pop out with like 70. Go look at some other, no disrespect to anybody, everybody's working in their own time. Go look at some other local artists and just peep their SoundClouds. I guarantee it's under 1,000. And you
For sure. But like that was me having a stroke of luck, honestly. With the 2 songs that I got the most views on, I got one with 70 plus thousand, I'll just say that, and one with 50 plus thousand, I believe, or 40 plus. You can look this up if you want to. I can look it up because I don't want to.
I ain't pick my phone up for that. Now
I was gonna say I don't want nobody to say I'm capping or nothing like that. But you feel me? Like,
hey, I just looked you up, bro. No, that's not it. No,
for sure. I don't want nobody to say I'm capping, but.
That was bad time. As soon as I picked up, no, fact check me.
I was just going, you know what I'm saying? If you wanted to, you feel me? Like, I don't have no problem with that. You feel me?
That'd have been a wild way for the episode. Hey, y'all, actually, he lying. I just looked it up, man.
No. Yeah, I got definitely thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and most of them come from like Russia and Ukraine and like.
Hey, I don't care who listening to it. They stop trying to. One thing you got to do too, especially if you quit because you ain't getting the recognition, don't take away your recognition. Like, if you got 74,000, you ain't got to put no content. Oh, but it's in. No, you got 74,000.
No. I love that because, like, I fuck around and be able to do a show overseas one day. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I learned me a little Russian, you feel me? That's when the war. That's when the war.
You kind of already talked about what your goals were in music.
Yeah.
Hey, did I ask you this? Are you looking for a contract? Do you want a contract, anything like that?
I mean, honestly, bro, like I like money, so like if somebody came to me with like a contract with the right stipulations in it, you feel me, with like if the paperwork in line, I sign a deal. I just want to be able to still be myself, you feel me? Like I don't want nobody dictating what I do, ever.
Now I'm gonna ask you this because I asked every artist this, and just be 100 because I mean, what else am I gonna ask you right now? You really can't talk too much about your music.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear your music because you fire.
Yeah.
But let's say when you get a contract, would you be willing to sign a 360?
Fuck no.
I like asking every artist this. I have to ask for discussion purposes. I gotta ask why.
A lot of motherfuckers don't even know what a 360 deal is,
and that's my point. So what is a 360 to you?
Is whoever made you sign that, they getting a piece of everything that you possibly could make. Any type of merch, everything that your music make, everything. They basically own you. Basically. And that is a no-go.
Now, and that's a fair assumption, and I appreciate the fact that you actually know more about 360s than most artists, because 360s do have a negative connotation, and you are right, it is a percentage split of everything you do.
Yeah. But
let's say a label came to you with a percentage, because that's all a 360 is the split itself.
Yeah.
But what if they came at you with a 360, 95.5, they only get 5%? That's a 360 that you just flat out said you would not sign.
That's true. 5%.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm just for the go. They would never come to you for 5%.
Yeah,
it would always
crazy.
be for people who don't know 360s nowadays. The label is going to probably get anywhere from 60% or higher. They usually, if you're lucky, you'll get more than likely you'll get anywhere from 30 to 40.
See, and that's what I was thinking, like a 60-40 split, 70-30 split. I'm not doing that.
But what I would tell every artist too. 40% of 2 million a lot better than 100% of nothing.
That's true.
And like even with 360s, I tell every artist, that's a 360 is not a bad thing because one, if you don't have like. If you're not moving like that, let's be real, the label, obviously, they make money on you, which means they're invested in you, which guess what they're going to do? They're going to put everything they can into getting you hot.
Yeah, and they're going to want their money back.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not necessarily they're going to want their money back unless you signed, because people be like, oh, he got a $300,000 record deal. No, he got a $300,000 loan that's recoupable and they will get their money back. Yeah. That's different. But if you got a 360 that you didn't take no money on the front end, you just signed and it's a 60-40 split, you may not necessarily owe them any money if you didn't take a signing bonus. You may now just be making 40% more than what you were making. And I tell every artist, when it comes to a deal, you got to consider, like, even if you did your first contract when you weren't moving like that, I consider that to a rookie contract in sports. Nobody becomes rich off the first deal. What's more important is, and I tell every artist this, and one artist actually listened to me and he just got out of it recently. You sign you a 360 for the years, not the albums. Reason being is, let's say you the hottest thing in the world, but you signed a 2-album deal. Guess what the label just not gonna do once you drop your first tape? Just not drop a second one. So you never get out of it. So you stuck in there forever. Or they'll put little small things in there that if you're like thirsty to sign, which it doesn't sound like you would be because you don't want to sign it anyway, they'll throw a little word in there on you called purgatory, which if you don't know what that means, exactly, you'll get
purgatory is the place between hell and heaven when you die.
And ironically, that's what it is in the contracts too. Purgatory basically means, all right, we're going to give you 360, 2 albums. You drop your second album, you think you good now. You fulfilled the contract until you forget that little word called purgatory means, purgatory means 2 albums or until we done with you. So now you'll see a lot of artists who's upset about their deals. One, because now they're upset because they think they fulfilled it, but no, technically purgatory means you have not. And that's where they get stuck at. That's why it's important to read your contracts. And I tell every artist, first off, if you're popping, and it's an ego thing mainly with artists, if you were popping to the level you probably believe you are in your mind, because I tell everybody, you probably the hottest thing, or you should be, in Chauncey. But if we go 10 minutes that way outside of Chauncey and nobody knows you, guess what that means to the label? Nothing. So a lot of people confuse like who they are in their city with who they are in the grand scheme of things. So like, no, a lot of people, I'm too good for 360. Not really, because don't nobody else know you, but around 25-mile radius around your city. So yeah, so most of the time you'll find out how much value you truly have when you start discussing, because if you were popping like you probably in your mind think you are, they would do a joint ventureship with you, not a 360. So if they even came at you with a 360, that probably means because you need some work. And that's just, first off, it's not a bad thing, because the fact they're even coming to you means you've done a certain amount of work already, or there would be no contract for you.
Exactly.
But the ego in it still has you like, nah, I'm not signing this. You know who I am? No, nobody knows who you are. That's why we got this 360 right here. But that's why I tell every artist, whether you would, and it's not to tell you to sign a 360, I mean, not at all. But the main reason I ask that, because a lot of artists have that mindset before they even get it. Because, I mean, a lot of people who say that never even had a contract in front of them to even read or understand. Like, 360 is just a split, and that's all it is. You can easily get out of it, like I said, with the 2 years. Because I had another guy, like I was telling you about, he had a 2-year. Now, he was doing all right, I guess, for the first year. But, I mean, the label, and that's another thing, you got to pick the right label when that time comes. Because even people like to go to the majors. Like, and I've had phone calls with Atlantic and things like that. And yeah, it's cool to say you with a major. But if you're going to be the 10th person at the major and the 2nd person at an indie, I know it's cooler to say you with the major, but that indie's probably going to do more for you. But, of course, he wanted to go to a major. He got stuck sitting, but he was in a 360 for 2 years. So when they put him on the shelf in that 2nd year, because of course they found other people they felt like was more important, all he did was sit for a year. And guess what? He out of it. But had he got stuck with a 2 album, one, you're not popping enough, so the label is not, but they're not even interested in you no more. Like you're on the label, but like you're not hot enough for them to push you. So they're not gonna put out a second tape. And that's where artists get upset, because man, they won't let me drop music, but they won't let me out. Well, they probably would let you out if you could pay them back that recoupable signing bonus, but you not making enough moves to even go make money to pay it back. So now you're stuck. You don't got enough money to pay your way out, but you're not hot enough for them to push you either. So you sit in purgatory then too in a music label. Man. So like it's a lot of stuff into it, but like what I tell every artist, man, very least take the call. One, so you know what your value is. You might have thought you was a joint ventureship type artist till 3 labels call you and they all got 360s. Yeah. So guess what you actually are? You're a 360 level artist. That's what it is. Everybody ain't lying to you. Or there might be one who calls you and says, we want a joint ventureship. So guess what you are now? I tell everybody, all it takes is one. If one person comes at you with a joint ventureship, you can now, that is a negotiation tactic, man. I can't sign no 360 with y'all, man. I got a joint ventureship over here. So more than likely they'll change it. So you'll never know your value until you at least take the call and find out where it's at. Because if you don't know your value, you're going to allow the label to then tell you what your value is. And they're always going to tell you lower than what it actually is. Like that's
a great game.
Yeah, that's real game. I try to tell, because I've sat, like I said, I haven't been in rap in a long time, but I've sat in these rooms with the A&Rs, with the execs. I know what they're looking for. They're big on quality. They're big on, one, knowing what you're talking about, and even something as simple as your numbers. Like you knowing what your numbers are, that's important to an A&R. When they come up to you and say, yo, what's your numbers doing? Like what's your streams looking like? Where are your big places people are listening to you at? Reason being, if you don't know your analytics to the A&Rs, that makes them feel like you're not serious. Like, you don't even know your numbers, bro. You don't even know where to market yourself at. So
I know my demographic.
Yeah, you got to tell me. I got to basically, and that goes to value, because not only value of the price for what they got to sign you at, is value of time. If you at least know what you got going on, that's less time and effort. We got to pay somebody else to find these steps out for you. Yeah. So that's why it's important. Like most A&Rs will sit down with you. And I'm saying it, like I done called, like I got some on my phone. I say, I got so-and-so right here with me, man. I want you to holler at him. Ask 3 questions. Buddy don't know no 3. None of the questions. He be like, hey, I'm going to hit you back later. Never call back. So that's why you got to know, be for real about your quality. If it's not ready, it's not ready. Yeah. Know your analytics, which you already know, and know what you're looking for. Like, oh, I'm just trying to make some money. We all trying to make money. What does that mean? What is your plan to make money? Exactly. And that on the flip side, when you get these label offers, which you will be getting because your talent indicates it, you need to know the same way they want to know what's your plan for them. You need to know what's their plan for you, because that's also a red flag. If a label sits down with you, they want to sign you. Hey, what's y'all 3-year plan with me? Oh, we're gonna get you in. We're gonna get you moving. How?
Yeah, how? I need specifics.
Yeah, and if they don't have specifics, 9 times out of 10, they don't really have nothing for you. Honestly, they just are. You know, they want to sign. You might be hot. You might got a song out at the moment, and that's a lot of artists too. They might have one song. The label, they gonna tell you they're gonna have you moving. What they really want is that one song you got, and then they kind of done with you. Yeah. So that's an indicator. All right, you probably shouldn't sign. And like, because I know so much about the industry, I ain't gonna front. I rarely feel bad for an artist when it comes to them complaining about their contract, because for you to be in a contract, that means the contract at some point had to be in front of you, which means you had the opportunity to read it. So if you still signed it, 1, either you didn't read it, or 2, you didn't understand it, which is still, your ignorance is not an excuse. You should have got somebody who did understand it to explain it to you. Exactly. Because if the contract was never in front of you to read, that means you would not be in a contract because you couldn't have signed it. So that was pretty much my game to you. Like I said, we had a lot of time we still need to push out with this interview. So I was like, this is going to be information you need at some point. For sure. If you continue to stay focused, because your talent is not a debate. Like, I've seen people, and there's no spite to anybody. I've seen people a lot less talented than you get in these rooms, because it's not about talent. If the industry was about talent, it looked completely different. Oh yeah, for sure. It's about relationships. But in a perfect world, sometimes talent and relationships work out. Like, there are talented people who had the relationships and push forward. Now, it's not always, but hopefully you'll be one of those few who can do it. Yeah. At this point, man, we're going to open the floor. Like I said, we got into your beginnings, just you personally. Shout out Chauncey. We learned a little about Chauncey. Yeah. We talked about your music career, the gaps between it. We talked about the project coming up. What haven't I asked you, or what's important that you feel like needs to be said in this situation for you?
Just emphasizing that I make all types of music, so somebody gonna feel it. That's one thing I want to emphasize for sure, is that, you feel me, like, I may not make conventional music most of the time, but like, it's still always gonna have some flavor to it, always gonna have like some bars in it, and it's always gonna be me, you feel me? Like, I try to be authentic 1000% of the time. So, yeah, I mean, I can't think of no questions though. Like,
hey, so yeah, you ain't gotta force it, man. That's what came in your mind. That's what it is, man. I mean, like I said, I think you talented. I think you fired. I'm a little concerned right now about our consistency, but that's something that you just have to prove over time. That, you know,
that's a fact.
That answers itself. You know, in 6 months to a year, if you still rapping, ain't nothing to be concerned about. But if you stop rapping, ain't nothing to be concerned about. Either way,
exactly,
you ain't rapping
exactly.
No more. But that's just something that's gonna prove itself over time. As far as, like I said, on the talent level, you got it, man. You got a great team behind you, obviously, and we just ready to see you get both what you deserve and what, hopefully, you know, if you stay consistent, that you will earn.
Earn for sure. So, I'm trying to earn that shit.
Other than that, man,
I'm cold with it.
Hey, we know that, man. But that, like I said, that's half the battle, man. So
yeah, that's half the battle.
But if you have nothing else to say, my name is Lawrence Ray, and we are done. Us.
I don't pity fools, they minuscule, these rappers too little. When you're talking to an animal, them raps could do little. You'll get ridiculed and finished too. I'm sending you to speak to St. Peter, break rank, it ain't feasible. Money growing trees, you seen bands, but ain't seen the roots. My thoughts black and I'm questioning love, cause I ain't seen the truth. Cross paths with the devil and shrug, cause I ain't easy to. Rattle in the senses if I'm mental, go the hardest with the bars, couldn't outline me with a stencil, so I leave without the trace. Bar for bar, they getting chalk, shell cases, yellow tape. A murder scene, don't intervene, cause shit get worse, get in my way. Bitch, I'm numero uno, can reverse it in a day, and it's for certain when I say I'm cut from a different cloth, and the fabric of reality ain't authentic like I thought. At any cost, I'm getting off because I'm caustic with my writing. At any thought that they could talk, they getting off cause I'm a titan. My third eye say I'm enlightened, but this shit I kick is ignorant. These niggas trash writing, I can tell that they illiterate. Bitch, I been on point with all these lines like a picket fence, lyrically inconsiderate. When I spit, it's the gentle fist flow attacking your chakras and blacking like Sega Genesis. Dreamcasting often, having reoccurring sequences. I seen a worthy emphasis on running shit and killing it. If prayers on my premises, then that will be the end of it. Us. Free my little brothers, free mom dudes. Rest in peace, my granddaddy. Rest in peace, Dane. Rest in peace, Queen. Gang shit. Tell up how the pussy like a pistol. Tell up how the pussy like a handgun. If your nigga try me, you gon' miss him. And if any nigga try me, that's a man down. You can go against the clique, nigga, stand down. Don't get caught up with your bitch and your pants down. I will put a nigga down like you passed out. Yeah. Ayy. Tell up how the pussy like a pistol. Tell up how the pussy like a handgun. If a nigga try me, you gon' miss him. And if any nigga try me, that's a man down. You can go against the clique, nigga, stand down. Don't get caught up with your bitch and your pants down. I will put a nigga down like he passed out. Yeah. Ayy. Shawty pop the pussy like she desperate. And I'ma hit the pussy, couldn't help it. And if a nigga try me, he can misfit. Yeah, dead man cradle to the grave with your bitch shit, slave to the dick. I don't play with her feelings, I just play with a click. If a nigga start to hate, then the blade, I'ma grip in his face, I'ma split. I done came from the cave, I ain't saving a bitch. Rolling a dope that a bitch couldn't hit. All my niggas, they with me, they straight out of the crypt. That's a tomb in a pyramid with hella calligraphy. Try to decipher in the shit, it gets serious. Point blank, period. Niggas going missing and their soul is the reeling that they came in with, and I ain't leaving any witnesses. Yeah. Shorty pop that pussy like a pistol. Shorty pop that pussy like a handgun. If a nigga try me, you gon' miss him. And if any nigga try me, that's a man down. You can go against a clique, nigga, stand down. Don't get caught up with your bitch and your pants down. I will put a nigga down like he passed out. Yeah. Us. Well, give me some hen, give me some gin. Fuck it, give me both and I'ma mix it all in. Life is what you make it, what a nigga been saying. I swear that's the hardest shit since MC Ren. Lions in the den. I've been trying to sharpen my pen. I've been trying to sharpen my blade. Better nigga get shaved. Fuck around, catch a fade. They no motherfucking way that your life getting saved. They be calling me the great, aka Space. Cowboy bebop, rocking in the treetops, rolling with a slingshot like a nigga Aesop. Pull up on a bad bitch, heels like some knee socks. We got all of the weed, crop a bitch trying to smoke. Give me the spliff and let me go. Kicking that shit, respect the flow. Rip it or else I let it go. Nevertheless, collecting souls, nigga, the best is at the throne. Nigga, your bitch is down the bone, giving her dick all in her home. Don't get wrong, better get right, whatever the night. Least I might leave her dim like all might. Punch sit like all might. All right, let's get right, left and right. When I strike, jet like lightning, it ain't never in the same spot twice. Stuck in the darkness, how my flame got bright. Beat your dame down twice. For the lanes, yeah, I bet they know my name now, right.